New Super Mario Bros. Is one of my all-time favourite games. I've 100%ed it so many times, and some of the best times I did that was while playing with Retroachievements, a site that adds achievements to retro games. Originally, it had 58 achievements across the story mode, including 100% completion, insane platformer achievements, and a task to hit the top of every flagpole in every single level. But they didn't stop there. Not too long after this, another lot of achievements were added to the game, being fun boss challenges and the most insane minigame achievements I've ever had to take on. So here is the entire achievement journey to fully 100% the game and all of its achievements. Enjoy.
Getting started, we see Peach getting kidnapped by Bowser Jr. We as Mario race after her, getting ourselves into the first world of the game. As we dive into World 1-1, let me explain some of the achievements. So pretty standard achievements for this game. We have to finish each world. Alright, that's well easy. We have to find all 3 secret coins in every single level. Alright, fair enough, that'll take a bit of time, but nothing I can't handle. And then we have a set of achievements that will change the way I play this game for the whole playthrough. And that is to grab the very top of the flagpole at the end of every single level. And to make it extra hard, for each world, I have to hit the top of the flagpole for every level in one whole session. So let's say my game crashes, or I accidentally reset the game due to anger from dying, I will lose all my progress towards that world session. So, to make this more interesting, I'm gonna rate every flagpole depending on difficulty out of 10. So you guys know just how much I struggled with every flagpole. And with that, here we are in 1-1, one of my most played levels of all time. In just the first 30 seconds of the level, we already earn our first achievement, Early Plumber, which we get for grabbing a mushroom for hitting a coin block enough times before it deactivates. Now, when I was a kid, I would always grab the Mega Mushroom and make it to the end of the level, absolutely destroying the first flagpole. But by doing this, we actually get 2 achievements. Ultimate Destroyer for using a Mega Mushroom and filling the destruction bar completely. And does this count as finishing the level? For using the Mega Mushroom and destroying the flagpole at the end of the level. Nice! Well, not nice actually. Achievements are good, but we need that flagpole intact for progress towards this world session. So, let's get back in there and hit the top of the flagpole. 1-1 should be easy, right? If I want another chance at hitting a flagpole, I have to play through the level every single time in order to have a go at it. Let's get started. Flagpole number 1 was difficult. In order to hit the top, you need a lot of momentum and height on your final jump towards the flagpole. And these flagpoles are very unforgiving. If you miss the top by just a pixel, you will not earn the 1-up which confirms that you have hit the top of the flagpole. Now the problem with 1-1 is the bricks that lead up to the flagpole. So I'm gonna have to pull off an absolute gamer move in order to hit the first one. So after a bunch of practice, I managed to run at the blocks, jump towards the middle, slightly look backwards, and then jump forwards to keep my momentum, and then jumped at the very end of the bricks in order to hit this first flagpole. It took me 20 minutes in order to do this, and while redoing the first level over and over again, not only did I collect all 3 secret coins, but I also managed to get 3 extra achievements. No Time to Die for finishing a level with 44, 55, or 66 as the last digits on the timer to spawn a green mushroom house. Shine Spark Technique for finishing a level while having a power star which I accidentally discovered. And No Star this time for getting a reward by collecting all 8 red coins. So now that we understand how the flagpoles work with having to hit the very top of them, and also having to finish every level and also finding all the gold star coins, we can start making some good progress. Let's do this. 1-2 was a super easy flagpole as I actually found the secret flagpole first. I gave this one a 2 out of 10 difficulty. Just a couple of good jumps and I hit it. Back into 1-2 for the standard flagpole. I was hoping this one would be the same, but nope. Say hello to 1-1's older brother, Mount Fuck You. I was at this one for 24 minutes. And remember, that's 24 minutes of also playing through the level over and over until I hit it. But once I did, I started to feel like a Mario god. Like I could do anything. Then I remembered, this is only level 2 of the entire game. I gave this flagpole an 8.5 out of 10 difficulty. 1-3 wasn't so bad. A bit of messing around on this mushroom until I was at a point I felt comfortable with jumping. 3 out of 10. Next up was World's 1 Tower. These towers are mini boss levels where at the end, you have to fight with Bowser Jr. Pretty easy levels, and thank God for no flagpoles at the end. It's time for a new achievement. An easy one this time, which was Helping Hand. We got this for finishing the level with 1-1, 222 or 33 as the last digits in the timer to spawn a mushroom house. 1-4 took a bit of time, but once I understood how using momentum to jump off the Goombas, I hit it. I gave this one a 5 out of 10, but later on, I'm gonna change it to a 1 of 10, as 1-4 became super important later on in the playthrough, but we'll get to that much later on. 1-5 was super easy, as you had a mushroom trampoline at the end to help you hit it. 1 out of 10. Before jumping into this next level, I entered a green mushroom house where you can obtain lives by hitting the question mark blocks. If you hit all the blocks without finding a Bowser card, not only do we get a bunch of lives, but we also get the achievement Full House for doing this. On to the first castle level of the playthrough, and of course our first boss is Bowser. Whoa, huge surprise, would never expect that in a Mario game. No, actually, what I didn't expect was how quickly I kicked his ass by using a Mega Mushroom and squashing him like any other Koopa, which got us the achievement Just a Normal Koopa Trooper. We also got the achievement Grassy Fields for finishing the first world. Now, even though we have the second world unlocked, we still have a few things to do in World 1, so let's head back. Entering a mushroom house for the first time, a Toad gives us a choice of 4 items, and if we hold a certain button to guess which item we're about to get, I will earn another achievement. So I held the L button, which guesses the mushroom item, and I got the mushroom. The next flagpole to hit during this world was in 1-A, which is one of my most hated level designs in Mario games. Not only is it underwater, but it's also a side-scrolling level, meaning I have to wait until the screen catches up before I can carry on through the level. This made it a pain, and I had to have multiple attempts at the flagpole. Thankfully, the flagpole itself was a pretty easy jump. I gave it a 4 out of 10. Now we had one last flagpole to hit in World 1 to get the first flagpole achievement. And remember when I said the best thing about the tower levels is that they don't have a flagpole at the end? Well, this world has a secret flagpole in the tower of all places, which I needed to find by having a shell power up and accessing a secret area. We got the achievement On Top of the Grassland for hitting all the flagpoles in World 1. Next up, we had the final timer achievement, which was given for ending a level with 77, 88, or 99 as the final digits in the timer, giving us a Mega Mushroom House and the achievement, woohoo, just what I needed. So, a certain part of this achievement list is super creative yet insanely difficult, and I call these set of achievements the platform achievements. They are essentially very specific challenges for players to have a go at to see if they can earn the achievements, and our first one can be found in 1-Castle, and it's called Something Squeeze. In the castle level, we have these moving ceiling pieces which will damage you, and they can even take a life if they fully squash you. But this achievement wants us to run this section in one cycle, from when the platforms are going up until they come back down. There are 7 ceiling platforms in total. I gave it my first attempt with a blue shell, hoping I would be a lot faster, and I almost got to the very end, so that's a good run so far. However, after a few runs and some deaths, I found it was much easier to run through as Small Mario, and at the very end, I performed a crouch jump to make it through the tiny space left between the spikes and the floor, and that popped the achievement. There are multiple of these little platforming challenges throughout this achievement set, and boy, they get so much harder. You ain't ready for the shit I had to do. After that, let's do an easy achievement, which is a classic move for defeating Bowser by only using a fire flower. Easy peasy. It was finally time to move on to World 2. There are a couple of important things I forgot about in World 1, but don't worry, we'll pick those up later on. For now, let's get into 2-1. The first flagpole was awful. Basically, there are some coins above a Poké, which if I hit this blue switch, the coins turn into blocks for a short amount of time. I would need a perfect jump to make it onto the blocks, and then a perfect jump right at the end to reach the pole. Now, this is where I discovered an item that would let me cheese a lot of the future flagpoles. The Mini Mushroom. Remember when I said we were returned to 1-4? Well, here we are. This level at a very specific point gives you a Mini Mushroom. So, if I'm able to beat the level as Mini, I get to remain Mini to take on any other levels I want to try out. You see, when you're a Mini Mario, your jump height is greatly increased, and you have far more control over Mario. But it's not all great news. As Mini Mario, you can be slow at times, causing you to die. And now that I'm a Mini Mario, if I want to attempt the flagpole at the end, I now have to get through the whole level without getting hit once. Otherwise, it's instant death. And on top of all that, I would have to go get a fresh Mini Mushroom. So even though it becomes a bit cheesy for the flagpoles, it still has its difficulty. Anyway, after 20+ minutes of trying with Small Mario, I finally grabbed a Mini Shroom and easily hit the flagpole. 7 out of 10 difficulty. Moving on to 2-2, as long as I survive as Mini Mario, flagpole should be a breeze now. But I'll still rate difficulty depending on if the level was difficult rather than the flagpole. Apart from having to avoid Lakitu, this level was super easy. 3 out of 10. Due to already being Mini, I was able to find the secret flagpole in 2-3 and hit the top of the pole. 2 out of 10. 2-3 was super easy, as it gave me a spring to reach reached the top. 2 out of 10. Heading into 2-A, this level sucks balls. First of all, this damn fish is the worst. It somehow always has the best timing possible to attack you or get you trapped, which resulted in me losing the mini mushroom. 2-A actually has 2 flagpoles. The first I was able to hit as regular Mario, after a bit of practice. 4 out of 10. But the regular one, I don't know what evil developer at Nintendo made this flagpole, but honestly, screw you, dude. I attempted this flagpole for half an hour before giving up. It felt like no matter what I did, the top of the pole would not register. You see, there is a trampoline and then a flying Koopa, so you would expect to fly over, bounce off the Koopa, and you have the height needed to pull this off. Nope. The amount of times I tried this and the rage that built up having to deal with the fish from traveling through the level was insane. I'm coming back to this one later on. I played through a couple of levels, including the tower for this world, and defeated Bowser Jr. yet again. The next flagpole I was able to hit was in 2-5, where I was able to stand on the block hopper's head and jump to hit the pole. 2 out of 10. 2-6 was another side scroller, and I ended up missing the pole at the very end. So for now, I headed into the castle level and took on the final boss for World 2. The final boss in World 2 is Mummy Porky, and as you can see, I'm fighting it as Mini Mario. The worlds in this game are separated at certain bosses. For example, if I beat this boss as normal Mario, I will progress to World 3. But if I'm able to defeat it with Mini Mario, I can go to World 4 and unlock that before World 3. It just gets a lot of hassle out of the way, and the level itself held a mini mushroom. So, after a few attempts, I was able to defeat Mummy Porky and unlocked World 4, which got me the achievement Dry Desert for finishing World 2. Of course, I went back to finish off the last few flagpoles I was having trouble with. First was the secret pole in 2-4, which I found using a mini pipe, and after a wall jump, I hit it. 3 out of 10. Then it was back to 2-A to try and figure out how in the world I was going to hit this flagpole by using the trampoline. I was at this for over an hour. I even watched other people on YouTube attempting this exact achievement, and they couldn't figure it out either and ended up giving up. I was also close to just leaving this altogether, but then I got insanely lucky. There is a red question mark block that spawns on the levels sometimes, and it will give you a special item if you hit it, and this one happened to give me a Mega Mushroom. I then noticed that when I used a Mega Mushroom on a trampoline, I would instantly pick up speed. Would this work for this flagpole? So I grabbed a Mega Mushroom and took it with me to the end of the level and activated it while I was on the trampoline. Now I didn't want to go right away, as if I hit the flagpole as Mega Mario, I would destroy the pole. So after some waiting, I bounced up, the Mega Mushroom faded, but I had the height needed to finally grab the top of the pole. Hell yeah, this one felt really good after figuring it out myself. Let's go. 8 out of 10 difficulty to try and figure out. 2-4 I was able to grab using the mini mushroom. 1 out of 10. And after some patience, I made it through 2-6 to jump and grab the flagpole, getting the achievement for hitting all World 2 flagpoles. I swear, if after all this pole jumping I don't become a really good firefighter or a stripper, it's all gonna be for nothing. After grabbing all the poles, I just needed one more coin in order to get the achievement Golden Treasures of the Desert for finding all hidden coins in World 2. Now, because I beat the Mummy Porky with the mini mushroom, the next world I took on was World 4. Let's cover the flagpoles first, and then we can get to some more platformer achievements. The first flagpole I hit in World 4 was in 4-2, which I got super lucky with. When I entered the level, I had a red question mark block arrive, which had a mini mushroom. I ran through the level and hit the flagpole. 2 out of 10. 4-1 was also super easy using the mini. Only problem I had was avoiding these scuttle bugs, but after jumping off one right at the end, I hit the 2 out of 10 difficulty flagpole. 4-3 was going great with the mini mushroom, but with it being underwater, something bad had to happen, and that was right here. This giant ass eel killed me. So I got through the level as normal sized Mario and was met with another fun momentum jump, but after a couple of run-ups, I managed to hit it. 5 out of 10. Next up was the World 4 tower with rising lava. I parkoured my way through, killed Bowser Jr. and carried on with the flagpoles. The next pole I hit was in World 4 Ghost House. This flagpole looked impossible at first, but after some jumping around, I was able to find some hidden blocks and make the jump. 4 out of 10. Now onto the flagpole in 4-A, and remember this level, as this level is going to be one that we come back to later on for a crazy challenge. So after getting a mini mushroom at the start of the level, I hit the flagpole at the end by jumping off a vine and off some blocks. 3 out of 10. With the mini shroom I went back to 4-5 4-4 and also hit the Ghost House secret exit. Both 2 out of 10. 4-5 and 6 were up next, with both being 3 out of 10 difficulty. The World 4 flagpoles were an absolute breeze with the mini mushroom, and getting through the levels as mini was super easy as well. The last pole to hit in World 4 was actually in the first level, and it was a secret flagpole, which got us on top of the jungle trees. Now that we had all the flagpoles hit and all the coins collected, it was time to take on World 4 Castle. After running through the castle full of thwomps, I made it to the boss, Mega Goomba. Sounds terrifying, but in reality, it's like if your nan grew super big. One kick to the head and she goes down. For defeating Mega Goomba, we get the achievements Toxic Jungle and Golden Fruits in the Jungle for beating World 4 and collecting all gold coins. Now before moving on to World 3, I had some achievements to finish up in previous worlds. So for now, let's get back to World 2 to get this achievement, Porky's Secret, which is given for finding this hidden room in 2-1 using a mini mushroom. There are a few achievements similar to this throughout the playthrough, and we'll grab them as we go. The next achievement to get in World 2 was of course another platformer achievement. In 2-1, there are a bunch of coins throughout the level, and we have to get 50 coins in one go. Sounds easy, right? Well, here's the catch. In order to finish this achievement, we have to do it while using the shell power-up, and we must do it in one single shell slide. A shell slide is when you start running while being in shell form, and you become a shell. So if we stop or die for whatever reason, we have to start again. So first I had to travel to a bunch of different levels until I got a shell power-up. Finished the level with the shell, went back to World 4 to open up a mushroom house so that I could save the game. That way if I die, I can reset, still having a shell, big brain mode, and then went back to give it a try. For my first run, I failed right at the start as the bounce back from the shell sent me right back to the start of the level. But the more times I tried it, I started to learn the jumps needed, where every coin was, and the best possible way to tackle this achievement. I started out by getting all the coins in blocks, hitting jumps to get super high coins, even made it through the whole section, collecting what I counted to be 48 coins before I fell to my death. As much as this challenge was frustrating, it was super fun. The shell is one of my favourite power-ups in this game, and after a bunch of practice, I hit all 50 coins in this level, getting the achievement Greedy Disco Shell. I recommend anyone to try this challenge if you have the game. Next up, we had 2 achievements to get in World 1 of all places. First one was for defeating Bowser with a blue shell, which was super easy. You might have noticed during that fight, I'm missing a coin from World 1. How this slipped past me, I'll never know, but I went through the level to find the gold coin to finally get the achievement Golden Apples in the Grasslands, for getting all the secret coins in World 1. Heading back to World 4, in 4-4, if we got into this mini pipe with Mini Mario, then we can get the secret achievement Wiggler's Secret for doing so. Now it's time to head back to 4-A for the platformer achievement Tropical Clear Condition. For this achievement, we have to land on the green pipe at the end of 4-A without touching grass after the first jump and without using the checkpoint. So I decided to give this a go with the mini mushroom, as I would have better control over my jumps. And as you can see from my first attempt, this achievement is crazy. It requires knowledge of what's coming up ahead, patience, and there's just a ton of annoying ass flying Koopas who always end up in the right place at the right time. Seriously, the fact I died to this Koopa here is super annoying. This was my first attempt and look at how far I made it. After 40 minutes of jumping from vines, avoiding flying Koopas, dying, and dying again, I had this amazing run. And I'll let it play out at super speed so you guys can watch the entire run. One of the most frustrating parts of doing this was the moving platforms. Having to jump up and down to move them while also avoiding flying Koopas required so much patience and careful movement. There were certain jumps I had to make in one go, otherwise the whole run would be over. And towards the end, a single jump was needed on a walking Koopa to send me over 3 piranha plants to finally make it to the green pipe right at the end, and the achievement popped. Ugh, it feels so good when they finally pop. And you want to hear something crazy? There are still harder ones than this to do. But with that, let's get on to World 3. After taking out Mummy Porky the normal way, it leads us into World 3. Alright, to save some time from now on, I'm going to speed through the flagpoles and difficulties. Let's do this. We hit 3-2 secret flagpole first, 2 out of 10. 3-3 wasn't too bad, 4 out of 10. 3-C was actually a bit of a challenge, but I found a hidden block after a very good jump, and we hit it, 6 out of 10. 3-A was super easy with the mini shroom, 1 out of 10. 3-1, I got chased by a fish through the whole level, but hit the flagpole at the end, 3 out of 10. 3-2, again, super easy with the mini mushroom, 2 out of 10. 3 Ghosts regular flagpole was easy to hit. The struggle was the actual ghost house itself, 5 out of 10. Now, given the flagpoles a break for just a second, I took on the World 3 castle. puzzle. The theme for World 3 had been the Oasis. So of course the boss is Cheap Skipper. A big ass fish and probably the easiest boss so far. 3 jumps and this fish was done. And we got the achievement Sunny Islands for finishing World 3. But we still had a couple of flagpoles and some achievements to grab in World 3. So back we go. 3-B was full of piranha plants. But by taking a mini mushroom item with me until the end, I used it and hit the flagpole. 6 out of 10. The final flagpole was in the ghost house and was at the secret exit. After a really fun wall jump, I was able to hit it, getting the on top of the palms achievement. Another world full of poles done. After getting all the flagpoles, I was 1 gold coin away from having all the coins in World 3. So heading back into the ghost house and using a blue shell, I got the final gold coin and out popped the achievement, Golden Pearls of the Ocean. Up next were 2 secret achievements. First, we had the secret room of World 3, which was in 3-A, where I had to get this skeeter to bomb the bricks while being mini, to get into the mini pipe to get Paracooper's secret. Nice! The next secret achievement was a cool one. Basically, near the end of 2-A, if we jump off this Cooper's head to go through the pipe, there is this little area with 2 pipes. But if we head down to this area and walk, we find a nice little bit of water, which popped the secret achievement, My Own Small Oasis. A nice chill place for Mario to think about the horrors I've put him through so far. And it's only about to get worse, as the next achievement is another platformer achievement. In 3-C, if we beat the level as Mini Mario without touching the water or collecting coins, then we get the achievement. Now, I'll be honest, with all the practice I've had with Mini Mario so far, this achievement wasn't that bad. The only bad part was getting all the way to the end of the level to be met by this particular jump. A massive jump, not only over water, but also with 6 coins that we have to avoid as well. This actually caught me out once or twice, but after learning the jump, we got the achievement. Moving on to World 5, let's get a couple more achievements before we grab all the flagpoles. Our next achievement is Hot Pursuit, which we get for defeating a money bag and getting a 1-up in doing so. Using a fire flower, getting the 1-up was easily done, popping the achievement. Next up, we have a platformer achievement in the World 5 tower level. As the stage rises up, we have to collect 85 coins in one go. There are about 112 coins in this stage, with 2 hidden blocks that hold 10 coins each, which I didn't know until looking it up just now. This one was tricky, as I needed to avoid the spiked balls and dry bones the level kept throwing at me, all while focusing on where to collect coins and move to next. After about 20 minutes, we got the achievement Tricky Towers. I defeated Bowser Jr. and headed to 5-3 to grab the secret achievement for this world. By being mini in this ice level, we discovered a mini pipe room that led to us getting the achievement Snailcorn Secret. Then it was time for World 5's flagpoles. Let's do this. 5-3 was first. With already being mini, this one was easy. 1 out of 10. Going back to 5-1, waiting for the snow on these trees to fall first before jumping, let us hit it. 2 out of 10. The return of Meant For You was no longer scary, thanks to using a mini shroom. 1 out of 10. 5-A was just a waiting game with this blue mushroom. 3 out of 10. I almost failed 5-B at first, but after taking my time, I hit it. 3 out of 10. The ghost houses are always a pain, but I found the secret flagpole first. This one had a trampoline, so 1 out of 10 difficulty. 5-4 had these gravity-defying mushrooms, but a good run-up made it an easy clear. 2 out of 10. 5-2 was a 3 out of 10. Could be easy to miss, but luckily, I hit the jump. I wasn't messing around with the ghost house's regular flagpole with those steps, so I brought a mini shroom and made it. 5 out of 10 without the mini, 1 out of 10 with the mini. The final flagpole in 5-B required using a blue shell to be found. After all the practice I got shell sliding earlier on, I made the jump and got the achievement on top of the icicles. I'm getting better at these flagpole jumps. We had the castle level of World 5 next. While going through, I had 1 last coin to find, and I was pretty proud of this jump I made to discover how to obtain the coin. I grabbed it and went up against the World 5 boss, Petey Piranha. Petey would jump down after you at certain times, causing his dumbass to slip on the ice. So after a few hits, we defeated him, getting the achievements Frozen Fields and Golden Shimmer in the Ice for finishing all levels and getting all coins in World 5. Another secret achievement to get in World 5 can be found in 5-2. All I had to do was jump up near these bricks and grab some secret coins on top of the level in order for the achievement to pop. It's time to move on to World 6. Let's start with a platformer achievement that took me a whole ass hour to to obtain. In 6-2, if we enter this pipe here, it shoots us up into the clouds, where we can ride a platform, and as we ride it, a ton of question mark blocks start flying past us. For this achievement, we have to collect at least 60 coins by hitting these question mark blocks. I hate achievements that sound easy, but are so difficult. First few tries, I lined myself up to the edge, but only problem is, you start slowly moving towards the edge the more you jump. Then, you have the actual blocks themselves. They go in a very weird pattern. Once in a while, you get caught between them, no matter the rhythm you have going. Then, the difficult part, actually hitting 60. So many times I counted in my head 55, 57, even 59 at one point. I had to keep telling myself it will happen, just keep trying. And luckily enough, this was super easy to reset and try, as all I needed to do was fall off and go back into the pipe if I wanted another go at it. And after an hour, I hit 60 blocks. After an hour of hitting blocks, I was so excited to get back to the flagpoles and play through some levels. Here are the World 6 flagpoles. First up, 6-3. I missed it and died. Let's try that one again. There we go, 5 out of 10. For 6-4, I found a hidden block and pulled off a sick jump, 4 out of 10. Another underwater level, 6-5 had 2 quick jumps at the end, but was easy to do, 3 out of 10. This pipe in 6-6 took me straight to the top of the flagpole, 0 out of 10 honestly. Same with 6-B, I think the flagpoles felt sorry for me for having to hit all those blocks for an hour, so they all became super easy, another 0 out of 10. While heading towards 6-1's flagpole, I found the secret mini pipe to get the achievement Bullet Bill's Secret. After grabbing the achievement, I hit the flagpole at the end with a wall jump, 2 out of 10. 6-A's flagpole was actually pretty cool, as I managed to wall jump into a running jump to hit it, 5 out of 10. Back to 6-2 where we got the most recent platformer achievement. Running and doing a couple of jumps got me the achievement On Top of the Mountains for hitting the top of all flagpoles in World 6. Let's go take on the boss. Entering World 6 Castle, I didn't realise how much time I was about to spend here. Looking back now, it's strange that this is my first run through this level, and I'll get to what I mean by that in a couple of minutes. For now, let's defeat the boss, Monty Tank. A mole in a friggin' tank. A few jumps on his head, and I got the achievement, Rocky Mountains, for finishing up World 6. I then went back through the castle level to get the final coin needed to get Golden Ore in the Mountains. Right. Let me explain to you the hardest achievement of this playthrough. There's still plenty to go before we fully finish everything, but the difficulty reaches its peak right now with the platformer achievement, Platformer King since 1985, where we have to reach the back room in World 6 Castle without stepping on a moving platform or using a tiny mushroom and without using the checkpoint. Holy shit, guys, this is true Mario right here. So back into World 6 Castle we go, and I'll show you guys what I had to do. The first part is to jump and sprint towards this block and take out the Koopa, not a problem. Next is a sprint towards this walking Koopa, jump off his head and make it over the gap. Might mess this one up a couple of times, but for the most part it's alright. For the next bit, you'll see that I have a Mega Mushroom. By using a Mega Mushroom, we are able to make these 5 jumps. And then we have the most bullshit part of all time. This jump right here is not able to be made unless we do one of 2 things. One option is to time the jump so that we run towards the wall across the way, get hit by the lava, wall jump, and then perfectly time the next wall jump on the 1 pixel high platform to make it over. That. The other option is to run and time a jump with the platform as it moves, go back on ourselves and hit a perfect wall jump off the platform to make it over. That as well. But unfortunately, these are the only 2 options to make it over. And you know what I did? I practiced time and time again, having to make the whole first section to even have a chance at the jump at the end. If I died, it was right back to the start. Over time, I opted for the second option, to run with the platform, turn back and wall jump off the platform, as touching the side of the platform was okay. As long as we don't stand on the platform, it counts. It took me an hour and a half of trying until, oh my god, I finally did it. Now all I have to do is the last 2 jumps and I've made it. And this right here is what I call a Joey moment. A moment that doesn't need to happen, but because I'm an absolute dumbass, it had to happen. You see this pixel right here? Yep, I touched that, meaning everything I just did got cancelled. And now I have to make that impossible jump again. I hate my life. But I was finally understanding the jump, and not too long after, I made it again. And this time I made sure to make it to the very end to finally unlock this achievement. An achievement achievement that only 5.5% of people have is so insane. But after that stress fest, I was ready for a brand new world, so it's onwards to World 7. It's time for the final platformer achievement, and thank God it's a pretty easy one to do. This achievement can be done in 7-3, where we ride this wiggler for the whole level. If we can collect at least 400 coins while riding on the wiggler, then the achievement will pop. At first I was like, wait, but there's hardly any coins on this level, until I hit this question mark block and popped out a star. When I started running with the star, tons of blue coins started to spawn behind me, and I eventually figured out that if I hit another question mark block while being invincible, then it will spawn another star for me to grab. So I grabbed all 400 coins for the coin generator 400 achievement to pop. Now I will say, World 7 sucks balls. Maybe because I hardly played this world as a kid, so I don't know it that well, but the fact that every level takes place in the sky, I fell so many times. The first playthrough of the world, I only managed to hit 2 flagpoles. 7-5, I bounced off this giant ass bullet bill to hit the top, 2 out of 10. 7-8 had a mini mushroom in the level, so a simple wall jump and it was hit, 2 out of 10. Now, that was all the flagpoles I hit in my first run through the world, due to the difficulty of the levels. So I decided to finish up the world and all the coins first. Heading into World 7 Castle, I came across my most hated level design in all of Mario. I'm already not a huge fan of waiting for the stage to move along, as I like to run through the level doing sick parkour. But this level was even worse thanks to these green blocks, which are called snake blocks. You have to stay on them the entire time, and they move randomly, causing so much stress and patience in one go. Let me know if anyone else hates these snake blocks. Anyway, after a couple of attempts, I made it to the boss, Lackey Thunder, and honestly, I think regular Lakitus are much worse to deal with. A couple of butt bounces and this guy was toast. I got the achievement Fluffy Clouds for finishing World 7. You might have seen just before I took on the boss this single gold coin. The snake blocks start to fall and they expect you to know this, and that you have to wait and fall in order to jump to grab this coin. It's the last coin I needed for the achievement, so I went back through the castle level in order to get golden stars in the sky for collecting all good coins in World 7. Alright, now that that's done, let's hit the rest of the flagpoles in World 7 before we get onto the final world of the playthrough. 7-1 was a bit annoying, as I had to avoid this flame chomp at the ending of the level while staying on a moving platform, but I took a mini mushroom with me to hit the pole, 4 out of 10. Next up was the ghost house. I hit the secret pole first, thanks to having another mini mushroom. Shoutouts to 1-4 for providing me with so many mini mushrooms for me to get this, a real one, 3 out of 10. Then it was the regular flagpole in the ghost house. This one was a bit annoying as I had to hit this question mark block in order to have a good jump, and I just kept missing. Luckily, the level is probably the shortest one in the game, once you know the right pathway to take. So, after a few attempts, I hit it, 5 out of 10. 7-2 was a snooze fest, as the whole level has you waiting on this flying platform, 2 out of 10. 7-3 required finding a hidden block, but apart from that, it's a 1 out of 10. For 7-4, I had to travel through this yellow pipe and wall jump in order to hit the pole, 3 out of 10. 7-7 was a pain, as it was a side-scrolling level in the sky, but after surviving the level as Mini Mario, I jumped off a flying Koopa and grabbed the pole, 6 out of 10. 7-6 was another flying Koopa jump, easy peasy, 1 out of 10. 7-4 secret flagpole required a mini mushroom in order to find it. So, after another quick trip to 1-4, I found the mini pipe and made the flag jump. 7-6's secret flagpole was another flying Koopa jump. Definitely a theme going on at this point, 1 out of 10. The final flagpole jump was in 7-5 and was a secret exit. I had to use bomb-bombs in the level in order to blow up these blocks to gain access to this pipe. And on the other side was the final World 7 flagpole, to get us the achievement on top of the clouds. Here we are, one final world left and just a few achievements left to get. Let's go. World 8 only has 8 flagpoles, so let's start with those. World 8's levels are pretty difficult, but I definitely struggled with some World 7 levels a bit more, although 8 did have some annoying ones. 8-1 has these annoying crowbars that swoop down to try and take you out. After dying a few times, I baited this giant bullet bill and bounced off it to hit the flagpole, 7 out of 10. After being chased by a giant eel, I made it through this pipe and performed a sick wall jump onto a flying Koopa to hit this pole, 5 out of 10. 8-4 was just a scuttlebug jump, 3 out of 10. 8-6 was a rising lava level, so it had some stress to it, but the flagpole had a trampoline, making it a 3 out of 10. 8-7 was 2 flying Koopa jumps, 2 out of 10. 8-8 might be the most annoying level in this whole game, with the volcanic debris falling everywhere and the kabooms ready to take you out. I got super lucky at the end with the flagpole, 8 out of 10. Before we we finish off the flagpoles, let me cover a gold coin that gave me a bunch of trouble in World 8. This should not have been as annoying as it was. So, there's a mini pipe that I need to get into, but the whole level has unlimited scuttle bugs that keep spawning and falling from the top of the screen. My god, I've never been so angry at bugs in my life. After many attempts, I finally made it into the pipe to grab the gold coin. After that, let's get another achievement. This one is Skeeter's Secret. In order to get this achievement, I need to get into a mini pipe in 8-2. While being mini, I can run across the water and make it just in time to get into the pipe, popping the achievement. Let's get the last 2 flagpoles of the playthrough. 8-2 was up next, and was just 2 simple jumps, 2 out of 10. The final flagpole I have to hit in the playthrough is in 8-5. A scary level to go through while being mini, but once I made it to the end, all it took was one final wall jump, and there it is, on top of the volcanoes. Every single flagpole in the game has now been completed. Insane. We still have a few achievements left to grab to finish up the game, but this was a fun challenge. Having to go through every level multiple times and work out the best way to hit the top of all these flagpoles made the challenge of this game extra fun. But you know what's not extra fun? The second tower in this world having another friggin' snake block level. Ugh, I hate it so much. But we got through, defeated Bowser Jr., which opened up the final castle of the game. Let's finish up some stuff before moving on to the final boss of the game. We had almost every coin in the game, and one of the achievements is to spend every coin and use every cannon in previous worlds. So I went through checking coin signs and firing myself out of cannons to get more progress towards this achievement. Alright, let's take on the final castle of this game. Everything has led up to this. Now, this castle is more of a puzzle than anything. Before taking on the final boss, I wanted to make sure I had all 3 gold coins with me, so that when we finish the level, we also get all the gold coins at the same time. And after spending some time learning what the switches do and where to go, I had all 3 gold coins and made my way to the final boss. The final boss was Bowser Jr. and Giga Bowser, but he doesn't look as cool as he does in Smash Bros. Now, I want to say this final boss was super difficult and required me to use all my hours of platforming, surviving, and skill that I've learned throughout this whole playthrough. But I just tossed some fireballs at them both and it was done. Oh, we get a kiss on the ear? Is that it, Peach? Do you understand what I've gone through for you? And that's all I'm gonna get? As the credits roll, we get the achievements Magmatic Wasteland, Golden Chunks in the Wasteland, and This is Mushroom Kingdom. There are still a couple more achievements to quickly grab. First, we need to spend the rest of our coins. Now that we have finished the game, we get these sick backgrounds for the bottom screen, with the last one being a throwback to the OG Super Mario Bros. After buying them, we get Back to the Plumber Job achievement. Now, on the start screen, if we input the code LRLRXXYY, we unlock a secret challenge mode. This challenge mode makes it so you can't backtrack on yourself in any level. For finishing a level with the secret challenge mode activated, we get the achievement Remember the Old Times. And now it's time for the final achievement of this playthrough. While hovering over our save game, if we hold LR and press A, we can play the game as Luigi. Now, in order to get the final achievement, we have to play the whole game again as Luigi. Nah, I'm just joking. Imagine.
We just have to wrap up one level with Luigi to unlock the final achievement of the original set. But our journey doesn't end here. It's time to head back in and take on the next set, including crazy boss fights and the most insane minigame challenges that literally took everything I had to finish. If we head into World 1 Tower as Small Mario and complete the tower and defeat Bowser Jr. at the top without dying or changing from Small Mario, we earn the achievement Small Mario versus Small Bowser. With this being the first tower, it was very easy to run through the level without dying. And as for the Bowser Jr. fight, all I have to do is ground pound him twice whenever he's not hiding in his shell. But as we move on, the tower levels and Bowser Jr. fights will get much harder. Moving on to World 2's tower, here I had my first death. Because I had to do this as Small Mario, if I touch anything dangerous, I will die. And right towards the final jump to get up to Bowser Jr., I missed the landing and a dry bones casually strolled into me, taking me out. The second time we made our way to Bowser Jr. just fine. Similar to Tower 1, he runs at us, we ground pound him, wait for him to leave his shell, and ground pound him again to pop the achievement, climbing to offer a rematch. For World 3's tower, we had to climb all the way up, dodging every single Koopa. We had a couple of close calls, but I made it to the Bowser Jr. fight and had zero problems fighting him, and got the achievement Latch On and Keep Climbing. Now that the first 3 towers are done, the difficulty spikes a bit. World 4's tower was a harder version of
the previous tower. Not only do we have to dodge all of the enemies, but we also have lava slowly rising below us, and walls that can squash us, making this an absolute rush to get through. At the Bowser Jr. fight, he now throws Koopa shells at us. All I have to do is jump on the shell, grab it, and throw it back at him. My timing on this second shell was embarrassing. I went to jump and totally missed, making me lose a life. It only took another retry to get all the way back up and defeat him to earn the achievement Don't Get Squashed. World 5's tower brought back some memories. This is the same location that I got one of the super hard achievements in the first playthrough, and because of that, I know this level pretty well. But that didn't stop me from panicking. I forgot how close some of these spiky balls can get, and to avoid the massive one at the end, I had to use my wall jumping skills. The boss fight now has ice physics, but because of this, Bowser Jr. has now become easier to defeat. I kinda wish he also had the shells here for a bit more of a challenge, as I crushed him with my ass and got the Clean Rise achievement. World 6 actually has 2 towers. The first tower had giant spikes for us to avoid. As Small Mario, I can easily fit into all the gaps, so dodging them was no problem. This boss fight took place on a moving platform, but Bowser Jr. was easy to defeat again, earning us the achievement At Least the Massive Spikes Are Slow. The second tower was a lot harder. It had a ton of conveyor belts that would push you into enemies, spikes, or just off the edge. The first time, I actually managed to make it all the way up to the top with no problems, but at the boss fight, I died to another Koopa shell throw. Why is it always the shells that get me? I wish I had just defeated Bowser Jr. here, because after that, I had a few deaths. The Hammer Bro arrived at the level, and as Small Mario, I suck at taking these guys out. I even ended up running into some spikes on my way back up. But I finally made it all the way up again and defeated Bowser Jr. to earn the achievement Roll On Up. So, I've 100%ed this game. I even have proof with the first video we did on this game. So, tell me why I have zero memory of World 7's tower. This was a climb with a ton of moving platforms and spiked platforms, but for some reason, this felt like a totally new level altogether. I even died a few times because I had no idea how to avoid the spikes at first. Maybe I just have a bad memory. Anyway, I made it to the boss fight, and apart from the arena moving back and forth, I popped the next achievement, through mazes and spikes, and I made my way to the next world. World 8 is the final world, so of course, we have 2 towers to take on. The first tower just annoyed me. It's not even that hard, but I made so many stupid mistakes, and don't even get me started on the boss fight. This should have been done first time, but I accidentally ended up dying to the flamethrower. Not once, but twice, which was very frustrating when I have to do the whole level all over again just to have another try at Bowser Jr. But this time, I took him out and got the achievement, dominating Jr. once more. Now it's time for the final tower, and of course, it has my most hated feature in any Mario game. It's the return of the snake blocks. Why? Why do these have to be a thing? I just find them so slow and boring, and they make you have stupid deaths, which make me even more angry. Overall, just the worst thing in the game. And the entire time you have to listen to this sound. I was doing really well on this level until a spiked ball got thrown at me with some insane speed, causing me to fall off the snake blocks, making me have to redo the whole level again just to reach Bowser Jr. The final Bowser Jr. fight took place in a lava arena with fireballs on either side. By staying close to the center, I was able to defeat him one last time to earn the achievement carried by the green chain. Now that the Bowser Jr. achievements are done, let's take a nice relaxing walk in my favorite level, World 1-4. We are here for mini mushrooms. By running through the level twice, I'm able to become mini and have an extra mini mushroom to start the mini boss rush achievements. First up is World 1 Castle. With the game being 100%, I have the ability to save the game anytime I want, so saving right outside the castle with 2 mini mushrooms is perfect. While running through the castle, I hit the checkpoint but ended up dying to a fireball. Luckily with the checkpoint, I can make it to the final door before the boss battle, pop the mini mushroom and head inside. Our first boss fight is against Bowser himself, and all it takes is one jump over him to unlock the achievement Disrespect the Koopa King for defeating Bowser as Mini Mario. By resetting my game, I now have my mini mushrooms back, and it's on to World 2's castle. Again, I made it halfway through the level before getting absolutely bodied by a bullet bill. I jumped back in and made my way towards the boss. The annoying thing about these extra achievements, I've done some of these boss battles as Mini Mario before, and I remember World 2's being an absolute pain. It's mummy Pokey. The best way to defeat bosses as Mini Mario is by ground pounding them, but Mummy Pokey comes in and out of the ground at different heights, and as you can see, it's very easy to die. After a few tries through the level, I actually managed to defeat Mummy Pokey on my second try at the boss battle to earn the achievement Not That Tall, and we make our way to World 3 Castle. World 3 Castle was an absolute breeze to get through. I popped the mini mushroom right at the end, and here we have to defeat Cheap Skipper. But Cheap Skipper is not the problem here, it's the other Cheeps. I knew these little guys were gonna cause me a problem. Somehow though, I managed to defeat the boss on my second try again, and got the achievement Don't Become Fish Food. World 4's castle had me avoiding lava, thwomps, dry bones, riding on giant steel platforms, and jumping over fireballs to get to the boss, which ended up being Mega Goomba. At first, I didn't think I was doing any damage to the Mega Goomba with my ground pounds, but turns out it just takes a bunch of ground pounds to finally defeat Mega Goomba, getting the achievement Lilliputian against a giant. While running through World 5's castle, I ended up dying to a dry bones. Heading back in, I found a star and raced through to the boss door and became Mini Mario. Our fight here is against Petey Piranha. With Petey being high up in the sky, this was terrifying. This is the first time I've actually felt Mini, as this massive ass plank could just flatten me at any point. I managed to avoid Petey each time. He slipped on the ice and I ground pounded him both times to pop the achievement Fly Defeats Flytrap. I like that achievement name. Before taking a break and moving on to the dreaded mini games, let's take on one more boss. World 6's castle is the one I have the most knowledge of, thanks to the hardest achievement in the previous video, Platformer King since 1985, where I had to reach the back room of the castle without stepping on a moving platform, using a mini mushroom, or using a checkpoint. So it felt really nice to just stroll through this level and play it like a normal person. The boss here is Monty Mole in a tank. My first attempt here lasted for ages. I always got the first and second hit on him, but after that, his tank now has 3 levels. If I stand on top or slightly to the side and wait, he doesn't pop back out. So I have to find a way up, and while trying, I ended up dying a couple of times, including the most ridiculous timing ever when I landed right as he shot a bullet bill in my face. Finally, Monty Tank was defeated, getting us the achievement A Tank Won't Protect You. So it's time for a break from the boss fights to take on an even harder challenge. Welcome to the minigames. I'm sure anyone who has played New Super Mario Bros. Back in the day remembers these games. Fun little minigames that you can play either solo or with a group of friends. But what if today we made these minigames solo but competitive, with some absolute ridiculous achievements that don't even seem possible for a human being to do? Now, it won't surprise you guys to know that I don't play this game on a DS, so I don't have a touchscreen. The bottom screen can be controlled by a mouse or by a controller. The mouse is the better option, although it's really difficult with certain minigames. I should know, as I've already spent 150 hours in another popular DS game that only uses touchscreen, but that's for another time. Take the snowball game for example, Snowball Slalom, where you have to roll a snowball down a hill while avoiding obstacles. How am I going to possibly do this with a mouse? Alright, so we have had this pen tablet for, I want to say like 10 years. This came out in 2013, this pen tablet, and I think we got it like a couple of years after it came out. Never been used. Never been used before. So, I don't know how well this is going to work, but just to show you guys how I have this set up, there's no way. There is no way that I can do this right now. I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but this is much better than using my friggin' mouse to try and do this. So, let's try and do one minigame while I'm recording like this, just to see what it's going to be like. I'll probably have to fix like sensitivity and stuff. Yeah, sensitivity defo needs fixing because I need to be a lot closer to the snowball. But we're getting there. We're almost there. I think if I just sort the sensitivity out and maybe map the area that I'm using, this is going to be well easy with the mini games. So, the first device we will be using is a 2013 pen tablet. Here, you can see my sister testing it out after I fixed all of the settings, and for this particular minigame, it works just fine, but the tablet won't be helpful for all the minigames. There were 2 achievements we needed to get here. The first one took me a while and a lot of fails, but I finally managed to cross the finish line at the end of a run, getting the achievement Frosty Slider. Just that achievement took about 20 minutes for me to achieve, as on each run, the rocks and the penguins that that block the way are randomly placed, so trying to avoid them is a pain. So, let's see what the next achievement is. Do this 3 times in a row? Alright, that's not happening right now. Let's see what other minigames we can play. For these next couple of minigames, it is actually easier for me to use the mouse, our second device to use with these minigames. We have Lakitu Launch, a game where we have to launch and catch spiny eggs in order to score points. I remember always enjoying this one as a kid, and I'm still sick at this game, getting 2 achievements. Spiky Friends, for launching and catching 11 spiny eggs, and Master Launcher, for catching and launching 22 spiny eggs. Nice. Up next was Danger Bob-omb Danger, where we have control of a bob-omb and just have to move it around on the touchscreen, avoiding the fireballs and the flamethrower from the Bowser. The longer we survive, the more points we get. On my first run, I got the achievement Resilient Explosive for surviving long enough to get a score of 1111. Next attempt, I survived for a very long time. There were so many moments I thought I was going to end up exploding, and while being fully locked in, I popped the achievement Staying Alive for surviving long enough to get a score of 4444. Our next minigame is Whack-a-Monte, basically whack-a-mole on a touchscreen. I thought this would have been super easy to do using my mouse, and the first time I did get an achievement, Whack Me Once, Shame on You, for whacking 44 Monty moles. I even got to 52, setting an all-time high score. Alright, so what else do we need to do with this one? Whack 77 moles? Yeah, this is where it became impossible to do with a mouse. This game needs to be played on a touchscreen, as the absolute highest I got with a mouse was 58 after half an hour of trying. We will return to this one later on. The next device I needed to use was a microphone, but this was a pain to get working. Hello? Eventually, after a lot of trial and error, I got it working to let me blow into the microphone, and we got the achievement Whee! For reaching the airship in balloon racing. Up next, we have an iconic minigame, Wanted. Here, we have a wanted picture with a character on it, and we have to select the character on the touchscreen as fast as possible to earn time. Pressing the wrong character will make us lose time. Now, I've not played this game in like 17 years, but I have been getting my practice in. Throughout 2024, there was an account on Twitter that was dedicated to creating versions of this minigame, which I used to follow and try to complete. So this was a breeze. On my first attempt, I got the achievement Facial Detective for clearing level 30 in Wanted. And by starting a fresh run and being super quick, I was able to get my timer all the way up to 50 seconds, which is the max amount of time you can reach in this minigame. Popping the achievement Accumulator. Now there's 2 things I suck at in life: puzzles and memory games. So of course, most of these minigames rely on puzzles and memory. The first puzzle game I tried was Which Wiggler, where you have to choose the wiggler that matches the one on the top screen. My brain just can't with this game. All the patterns look the same, and I start to panic when multiple wigglers appear on the screen. And don't even get me started on the moving ones. So I decided to take a break and take on a different minigame, Hide and Boo Seek. On this minigame, we have boos on the touchscreen. The lights will go out and we have to find them by rubbing out the darkness on the touchscreen. But the boos keep on moving once the lights are turned out, and you only get 3 seconds to find them. Later stages introduce even more boos. But I managed to get an achievement, Peekaboo, for clearing level 5 in Hide and Boo Seek. Level 5 was hard enough, but the second achievement for this minigame wanted me to get a score of 11. That's insane to do right now. So let's play something else. Concentration is complete RNG. Wario smacks the money bags into the sky, and coins rain onto the touchscreen. We have to take note where the coins go, as once they stop, we have to choose as many bricks as possible that have coins inside them. As soon as we hit a brick that doesn't have any coins, the game is over and we have to start again. Bricks can have a total of 1, 2, or 3 coins, and for the achievement, we have to get a total of 22 and 33, which is just insane, as the coins make it ridiculous to see where they're going. So, I won't lie to you guys, a few of these minigames I cheesed. We live in 2025, my phone has a camera, so I just recorded where the coins went and popped both achievements and got a perfect game. I'm sure eventually you could get the 33 coins, but it would just take hours of trying, as there's just too much going on, and these achievements for the minigames have insane goals they want you to reach. So I felt okay cheesing this one. On to a brand new category of minigames, the table minigames. You know you had a bad childhood when you saw Dealer Luigi more than your own mother. This is the man to blame for your gambling addiction. In this first table minigame, Memory Match, oh come on, first puzzles are no no memory. This is just a simple game of match the cards, and remember where everything is. As we get into the higher levels, we have even more cards to match. No. I might have a bad memory, but you know what doesn't have a bad memory? My iPhone with 128 gigabytes of storage. That's a lot of memory. And with the higher levels, I was able to take a picture and use that to unlock the achievements. Getting paid for remembering, for getting 55 coins in Memory Match, and Eidetic Memory, for clearing level 15 in Memory Match. It might be slightly depressing that the next minigame is the only minigame I actually had fun on. It's Picture Poker. Finally, I can grab a drink, whack on some YouTube videos, and just play poker with Luigi. Now that we're all older, I think we can all agree that this is the best minigame. And just by vibing and playing this game for a couple of hours, I got 2 achievements. Gambling Initiation for racking up at least 44 coins in Picture Poker, and Gambling Addict for racking up at least 444 coins in Picture Poker. And I'm kind of sad my chill time is over because from here, the minigames got ridiculous. This game is called Sort or Splode. We have 2 kinds of bob-ombs, black bob-ombs and pink bob-ombs. We have to sort them into their coloured sections in order to score points. By filling up an area with bob-ombs, we get an achievement, Complete Gang, for getting 40 bob-ombs of the same colour grouped together in Sort or Splode. This minigame is difficult to do with the mouse. It requires too much speed that only a touchscreen can provide. And the next achievement I have to get is to earn a score of 120, which is just stupid. If only I had a touchscreen. Wait, I have an iPhone. So, after a lot of setup, I was able to move my game over to my iPhone, and I was grinding these minigames. The touchscreen made these games so much easier. I was able to practice wherever I went, including the gym. The grind never stops. The first game I took on was Whack-A-Monty, where now I was able to finally hit 77 Monties to unlock the achievement, Whack Me Twice, Shame on Me. I do apologise for how scuffed the achievements look popping in, but this was the best I could get. Now I can finally do Snowball Slalom. 3 goals in a row was easy, popping the achievement, dodging Snowball. How about a new game next? This is Puzzle Panel, and I won't lie, I've had it explained to me like 3 different times, and I still don't understand the game. So I got my girlfriend to play it for me. Here is the explanation she gave, as her brain is just built different.
I don't know what you're doing. Can you explain it?
So each panel is in like a set of 9. So for example, if I clicked this mushroom here, this one would change, and all of them around it would change, right?
Okay.
So I have to be strategic in which panels I pick and predict what the pattern is going to look like after the fact. For example, this one has to stay the same, so I can't do anything with the ones around it. This middle one has to change, and this bottom one has to change, and the 3 above it have to change. So if I click the middle one, that 9 changes, and that's the pattern.
I don't get it. don't get it.
Amy was able to get us the achievement Puzzle Enthusiast for clearing level 11 in Puzzle Panel, but then she needed to get some sleep for work, so she will be back later on to do the other achievement for Puzzle Panel. I tried out a new game next called Trampoline Time. On this game we have to draw lines that turn into trampolines for Mario to bounce on. We have to direct the Marios to the door that is currently lit up, and we have a big trampoline at the bottom that can be used 3 times before it disappears. I managed to get the achievement Jumpman Jumps for scoring at least 10 in Trampoline Time. For the second achievement, I'll come back to it later. So I decided to go back to Sort or Splode, and no matter what I tried, I just couldn't score 120. Using my fingers on the touchscreen was a pain, as sometimes the bombs wouldn't register my inputs, and I would get stuck trying to pick up one bomb while all the others started to charge in. So it's time for another device, and this one I'm quite proud of.
This is my ultimate creation. So it turns out on an iPhone, you can't use a stylus, but I made one out of tinfoil that works. So this is what I'm going to use to play the Bomb-Omb game. This is how desperate it's got, because this Bomb-Omb game is so difficult. So this is the stylus that we've been using on the pen tablet, but now I'm going to be using it on the iPhone. Let's do this.
As well as using the new stylus, I also turned my phone sideways as sorting the bob-ombs up and down rather than left and right helped a bunch, and I finally got the achievement quick on the stylus. As you can see, I wasn't messing around when it came to these minigames. We have done so much to make sure we get these achievements, and there's still more to get. Bob-omb Squad was a very easy minigame. I just had to make sure none of the bob-ombs landed on the ground, and if you hit Lakitu during this, all the bombs on the screen will explode. Here, I got 2 achievements. Bob-omb Blaster for scoring at least 20,000, and Line Them Up for scoring at least 50,000 in Bob-omb Squad. This minigame might be the hardest one in this entire set. This is Mario Slides. On the top, we have a Mario head coming down. Any lines he comes across, he will travel along, and it's up to us to work out exactly where he's going to end up on the touchscreen. If he hits a piranha plant, we lose and we have to start over again. So we've got to aim him towards the stars. We can use the bottom screen to draw our own lines to direct him to the star, but the lines stay on the screen for 5 rounds each. Now, the first achievement was hard enough. We got Piranha Dodger for scoring at least 10 in Mario Slides, but the second achievement wants us to get to 30. Are you kidding me? 30 is impossible, so I'm gonna come back to this one later on. We have the final table minigame, Paragon. As a kid, I never really played this one much, and as an adult, I hate this game. Dealer Luigi will give us cards, and all we have to do is make pairs until the board is fully clear. However, if we cannot make any more pairs with the current cards that are on the screen, we lose coins. If there were 10 cards left on the screen, we will lose 10 coins. The annoying thing is, for just clearing a board in the early rounds, you only earn 5 coins, so this game is an absolute grind. The first achievement I got while playing this game was Clean Slate, for clearing the board 3 times in a row in Paragon. My next achievement is to get a total of 99 coins, and right now, I'm on 77 coins. As Luigi deals out the next lot of cards, we are now on 10 rounds, so our total cards to clear is now 80. After just 5 pairs, I lose. I instantly quit hoping it wouldn't save in time, but when I got back into the game, I have gone from 77 coins to just 7 coins. I was so angry. This game takes a while to play, and to get all the way back up to 99 coins, it was gonna take a good couple of hours, so for now, I moved on. Heading back into Hide and Boo Seek, I need to reach level 11 for the achievement to pop. For this one, I moved back to using my mouse. On the comment section of the achievements, I saw someone saying to make the touchscreen as tiny as possible, and just spam the mouse and pray that you can find all the boos each time. I had been trying this minigame for about 2 hours at this point, so I was down to try anything. Look at how small the screen is, it's so dumb. But you know what? It worked, and I managed to make it all the way to level 11. Finally popped the achievement, Nyctalope, for clearing level 11 in Hide and Boo Seek. A fresh minigame is up next. For Bounce and Trounce, we just have to keep the Marios alive by tapping on them on the touchscreen. Every time they bounce off a Shy Guy, they earn a point. I just focused on keeping the Marios alive, and they got the points over time, unlocking 2 achievements. Shy Guys make for good platforms for scoring at least 30 points, and Elegant Glider for scoring at least 80 points in Bounce and Trounce. Speaking of bouncing, it's time to return to trampoline time. Here, I just needed to get to 40 points. It took quite a few attempts, but after a while, I got to 40 to pop the achievement Mario's Found Their Ways. I then spent an entire 2 hours back on Paragon, finally racking up 99 coins to pop the achievement Making Bank. I spent more time on Mario Slides trying to get as high as possible. On later rounds, not only are there more Mario heads, but the speed increases as well. I have no idea how a human being is supposed to do this. Even checking the comment section, everyone was saying to just use the pause feature on RetroArch to even attempt to do this. And you know what? It was still difficult. After you unpause, the heads are still moving super fast, so you have to be so quick in order to draw your lines. My highest score so far was 27, and I need to get to 30. It's gonna be done, but let's take a break. After Mario Slides, my brain was fried, so I invited my sister back to try the puzzle game Witch Wiggler, and she picked up this game crazy fast. She managed to get us all the way to level 20, which popped the achievement Wiggle That Wiggler. But now, we had an extra achievement to grab. Similar to Wanted, we now had to get the timer to 50 seconds. I watched as she kept getting into the high 40s, but every time, if you click the wrong wiggler, you lose 10 seconds, causing us to restart. At level 9, the screen fills with wigglers, and the difficulty spikes, so trying to get as close to 50 before level 9 was crucial, and I managed to capture this moment.
Do you see it? Do you see it? I don't see it. It's not going easy.
Oh, hang on. Come on, please be another easy round. Just take your time. Oh my god, you're 1 second off.
Come on, no,
You're 1 second off, come on.
that one. Did we do
Let's
it?
go. Yes! Oh my god.
Shall I carry on?
There it is. Shall I carry on? Oh my god. That is stressful. I can't believe you managed to do that.
Neither do I. Look at me now, I'm on a roll.
After this, my girlfriend finally returned from work to take on the other puzzle game, Puzzle Panel, where she had to get to level 22, and I felt so bad. She was doing this on the iPhone. She got to level 22, but no achievement popped. Turns out, I didn't log into Retroachievements for this session, so she had to do it all over again. But hey, at least we got the achievement Master Puzzler, right? Finally, it's time for the last minigame achievement before heading back to the mini boss rush. I'd completely forgot there's a whole story in this game. These minigames have taken over my life. After a couple of hours of pausing, working out where the Mario heads are going to, and making my way all the way to level 30, I finally popped the achievement Path Planner. And with that, the minigames are done. I used 200% of my brain for some of these minigames. And before we head back into the main game for the last 3 achievements, if you have enjoyed so far, please hit that sub button. I made a friggin' tinfoil tablet pen in order to get these achievements. Jumping back into the main game, we head to World 7's castle. After all those stressful minigames, I'm ready to just take on some bosses, chill out, and is that another snake block? Come on dude, give me a break. The snake block got me killed so many times here. I ended up zoning out just because of how slow the level was. Finally, I made it to the boss. This boss is Lackey Thunder. At first, he flies across the screen and I was able to hit him with a ground pound. Alright, one more and it's done. Then he aimbot throws a spiny shell at my tiny face, and I end up dying. Of course, I have to do the level over and over again just to get back there, but this time I had a plan. You see, the achievement says you just have to defeat him as Mini Mario, but it doesn't say I have to be Mini Mario for the whole fight. So I ground pounded him, waiting for him to use the spinies, and then timed my mini mushroom, jumped up, ground pounded, and unlocked the achievement Lean and Mean for defeating Lackey Thunder as Mini Mario. It's finally time for World 8. The first boss is super easy. Heading through the castle, I just have to hop on platforms until I reach the boss door. The boss here is Dry Bowser. Similar to the very first boss, I just have to jump over him to reach the switch to pop the achievement Pounded into Dust for defeating Dry Bowser as Mini Mario. Now, it's the true final boss of this game. But before we get there, we have the final castle to run through. And this final castle is so long. There's loads of different sections that include flipping the place upside down in order to escape. Right at the end, there is a puzzle that will ding if we go the correct way, and that will lead us to the boss door. As we enter, we see Bowser Jr. revive Bowser, who is now Giant Bowser. This looks crazy to do as Mini Mario. This time, there is no jumping over Giant Bowser, but at certain points, he does do big jumps. We just have to deal with Bowser Jr. first. On my first attempt, I died trying to cheese and run under Giant Bowser when he did a mini jump. On my second attempt, I stayed normal size until I defeated Bowser Jr. I popped the mini mushroom and waited for the perfect timing. Bowser launched up into the air, and as fast as my tiny feet would take me, I ran under him, pressed the switch, and unlocked the final achievement. And there it is! New Super Mario Bros. Has been 100% mastered. Be sure to check out another Retro Achievements playthrough on the screen right now. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.